Hello, Gold Derby. I'm here with Charles Bright and Riley Chow. We're here for part three, for the final part of our Emmy coverage. We will be with this broadcast until the show ends. We had Rob Licuria with us. He has to go soon. He might pop in again for a brief time before that. But for now, we do have a few Emmy winners that were announced while we were breaking, and so we had Best Short Format Entertainment Program did not go to Katy Perry, so she is not an Emmy winner. That went to Between Two Ferns with for Zach Galifianakis. Special Class Program went to Sweeney Todd, the Live from Lincoln Center, which was kind of an upset because the Tony Awards have run the last several years in a row. Was there another win that I'm forgetting?
Short format programming, which nonfiction programming, which went to a tribute to Mel Brooks on FX.
Cool.
So I just want to point out, Zach Galifianakis is having a hell of a year. He's in this year's Best Picture winner, Birdman. He won a SAG award as part of the movie's cast. Last year he won an Emmy, and now he wins another Emmy this year for Between Two Ferns. Good on you, Zach.
Yeah.
He has that new show coming out where he's playing a clown, written by Louis C.K.
Yeah. That's got Emmy written all over it.
Sounds like a really uplifting show.
Yeah. I'm already scared. I've already got nightmares.
Clowns are frightening.
Clowns scare the shit out of me. All right. Well.
Who else is afraid of clowns? Stephen King.
Yeah, obviously.
Shocker! I wouldn't have guessed that from it.
Those teeth, man. I still have nightmares. Anyway,
It was the wrong time to see it.
Yeah. Not
All
good.
right. So next
all right.
We have
Casting, right?
We have casting. Yes.
Casting, cool.
We have casting for a comedy series. We have Louie, Modern Family, Transparent, Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt, and Veep.
Awesome. And who's won in the last few years? Anybody?
Did Veep win this category?
Orange is the New Black. No, Veep has not won. It's never won.
Okay.
They missed the boat with Girls and this one.
And it's Veep.
Veep finally wins.
Ooh.
Well, congratulations, Veep.
And that's interesting to win for a fourth season. Usually it goes to new shows.
That's a huge win over Transparent.
For sure.
Yeah.
I know. Transparent would have won it if I was voting. Just the cast that they assembled on that and the guest acting on that, very, very impressive.
I thought it was locked, actually.
Yeah, me too. I really would have thought that was a lock. So Veep, that's actually significant. If Veep pulls out a win next week, maybe we should be thinking about that.
How about Game of Thrones winning in its 5th season?
Yeah.
Game of Thrones has never won before either.
Okay, that's telling.
That's
Again.
5 wins so far for Game of Thrones.
Very telling.
And we've seen that the Transparent train hasn't been unstoppable. Like the first 2 wins had us worried, but it hasn't been winning since. So
No.
I'm not going to jump off of Veep for Best Comedy Series. Certainly not after that casting win.
No, that's really
Undercover.
telling. Wow, okay. I'm really surprised. Game of Thrones has always deserved a casting win, and it's finally won. I mean, it's a very tough category to win in as well. Very
They just
well
love new
cast
shows. Like last year, they went for
They
True
really
Detective,
do.
even though they only had 2 people on it, and
Yeah,
I don't know how hard it was for the casting director to cast them.
exactly.
Comedy guest actor.
Oh, here we go. Wow,
Gird
they're
your
really
loins, everyone.
They're not gonna
Gird
end
your
with the
loins,
guest?
people. I guess
That's weird.
not. They're going to end
They
with
might end with like Variety Sketch or one of the program awards,
maybe or lighting direction in a commercial, probably. This one's a really tough one.
Olive Kitteridge.
Kitteridge.
That's not
I
a big
can't believe that happened. American Crime had to have won that category. I'm very disappointed.
It should have, but Olive Kitteridge, as popular as it is, I'm really not surprised they.
No. So let's run through the nominations, if you don't mind, for Guest Actor in a Comedy. It's a big one, and I'm going for Bill Hader. So who was nominated here?
We have Mel Brooks for The Comedians, Paul Giamatti for Inside Amy Schumer, Bill Hader for Saturday Night Live, Louis C.K. for Saturday Night Live, Bradley Whitford for Transparent, and John Hamm for Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt.
Gosh.
The streak could end here.
It could end here.
Boy.
But I'm predicting Bill Hader.
Bill
But
Hader, me too.
I think I'm wrong because that's based on episodes. There's no way that's an actor.
Giamatti.
He had the best.
It could be Giamatti. It could be Mel Brooks. I mean, honestly, after Martindale, there's no surprise.
They'll give it to people who play themselves. That's only happened at the guest actress category.
Yeah.
Guest actors and tie Katy Perry and Margot Martindale.
Definitely Katy Perry and Margot Martindale. Love it.
Sorry, is guest actor actually next, or are we just?
I'm just typing. I think something's coming.
Oh, what is next? Okay, Chris said.
Yeah.
He's typing furiously.
He really is typing. He is.
Oh, guest actor, and then we'll have
exciting.
Oh, there are only two people. If John Hamm wins and he didn't show up, that would make me upset. That would really make me upset.
I want him to just win for Mad Men and that's it. I don't want him to win for Kimmy Schmidt. I really don't.
I'm predicting him here and then Kevin Spacey over there, so we'll see.
Yeah, if this is his only... You're right, Josh LeBron. If this is his only Emmy and he doesn't show up, that's a shocker.
Which is funny because I think when he won the Golden Globe, that was the year of the writers' strike, so he didn't get to accept that on TV either.
He's jinxed.
He never won SAG.
He just stays at home and waits for them to mail them to him.
Bradley Whitford.
Wow, there you go. That's a great win for him. Congratulations to him because he was great in Transparent. I had him in second, so he was great.
Do they like Transparent or not? I can't tell.
They do like Transparent.
But not in casting.
They don't mind that it's not funny. I mean, Bradley Whitford's role was not it wasn't really a comedic role.
I might have to switch for lead actor because I have Will Forte winning.
Wow. Really?
Yeah.
Come on, that's best tambor in a tambor. We've been saying that all weekend. I can't imagine.
Yeah,
but I've been saying otherwise the whole weekend.
Well, you're on drugs.
I wish.
That would be awesome. Wow.
So Transparent has 3. Veep has 1, but it's an important one. It got best casting over first season show Transparent. Yeah.
Wow.
I am amazed.
I was so pulling for Paul Giamatti. I love when he says she's built like a lineman, she has a Cabbage Patch face, and her ass makes me furious.
Yeah.
I love when he says that.
Writing to it.
Ooh, variety writing next.
We love those. It's a shame when the variety series writing are on the Emmys because we don't get to have those really cool, video montages when they announce the nominees on the show. You know what I mean? That's always a highlight of.
I have to say, Chris just wrote something interesting. Whitford used profanity on stage and is wearing a strange hat.
Well, as you do. Good on him. It's that scene when he's at the payphone really paid off for him. That was it. That was the scene that clinched it.
Yep.
Yeah, they definitely watch the episodes.
They love people. They love cross-dressers at payphones.
They do.
So John Hamm, get on it.
Yeah. You better win next week, or there's going to be a riot. And John Cryer will be.
I think there's going to be riots because of Margot Martindale.
And Katy freaking Perry.
There better be.
Yeah.
She should just mail this second Emmy to John Hamm.
Yeah.
It's like distribution of. I'm an Emmy communist.
Distribution. Yeah. I love that. For 2 minutes of time, she gets a statue. John Hamm creates one of the greatest characters in living memory. 0. So yeah, that's a tough one.
Though it'll be funny if Mad Men loses everything and then somehow wins Best Drama Series. We've seen that happen before. Like, shows have won Best Series as their only award.
Yeah, Picket Fences did it.
I think Sex and the City might have done it the year it won.
Yes, it did.
Something else did more recently.
The Practice, maybe? I think it was, I don't know.
I think ER might have done that.
Yeah. I think Margot Martindale and Katy Perry have got to do a duet at least finish mine. They've got to do something. I think we're on to something here. I really am. Yes, Margot should mail her Emmy to Lois Smith. Halo Insider, great call. Nothing against Margot, but Lois Smith was so good in that episode that hopefully we'll be riding next week.
I don't know how that. I like the idea of having the length of time they're on screen next to their name.
It's the most reasonable thing they can do.
Because if you haven't seen the episodes, and if you're not going to watch, if we can't trust you to watch the episodes, then you can at least tell them what you're actually voting for.
Well, we're going to lobby them. We'll lobby them. We can do it. I said one of the greatest characters in living memory, Philip, not the greatest character in living memory. Tony Soprano is my favorite, of course. Come on.
Yeah, Vic Mackey.
Walter White.
One of again.
Well, Buffy Summers. I can't not say Buffy Summers. Yeah. I won't argue. I can't argue that Don Draper is on a decent list of them.
He is on the list for sure.
Good on you, Cookie, for calling her by her real name, character actress Margot Martindale. In all capitals. So we're out writing for a variety special. We have the 72nd Golden Globe Awards, Key and Peele, the Super Bowl special, because this is for a special, Louis C.K. live at the Comedy Store, Mel Brooks live at the Geffen, and SNL 40th anniversary special. Chris is sure that Mel Brooks is going to win this one.
Right.
That wouldn't surprise me.
Pretty good call.
But think of all the people who win if the 40th anniversary special wins. You got Fred Armisen, Tina Fey, Seth Meyers, John Mulaney, Andy Samberg. That's an impressive list of
Mark
people.
Shaman would win.
Yeah.
Rob Klein would win. First person to ever have an HBO comedy special.
Of course, yeah.
I don't see them going for the Golden Globes. Although they might. I wouldn't be surprised if it's Mel Brooks or Louis C.K. Louis C.K. They love him in the writing race.
And they go with
Louis C.K.
Yeah, they go with the person usually one, and it's Louis C.K.
Oh.
4th writing Emmy he has never won in any other field. Or 6th writing Emmy, sorry.
Yeah.
6th writing Emmy.
37 nominations.
Yeah. I mean, really? Come on.
It's kind of weird. Like you can't say he's overdue when he has 6 Emmys, but it's like he's also a great director. He's proven himself to be an outstanding actor on the show and a producer and an editor. Like, I mean, give him something else.
He won again. I just can't believe. Oh well. No, that's fine. I like him. He's good.
Yeah. So are they doing? They have split this up weirdly. I still have like some hairstyling categories that I don't know if they got to.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on here. It's just completely. I'm just not happy with they're just chopping and changing.
Directing.
John Roy King. You've won a few in the past, surely.
Yep. So that's another one.
SNL's doing well. That special is doing really well.
Yeah, they
I have to apologize to Perks of being a griff. He says he put his bow tie on and then I took mine off. I apologize. Do you have an 8-bit tie? Because we'll wait.
It's a pretty cool tie.
Thank you.
Yeah,
it's a clip-on.
Love it even more.
One of our commenters, Culture Tilt, he says that awkward moment when Katy Perry wins an Emmy before she wins a Grammy.
Yeah, that is true.
They'll give her an Oscar before she wins a Grammy at this point.
Yeah, that's right. And she keeps getting nominated for those one of the general field categories, but she just can't win the.
I guess that's to me one of the hugest surprises when she got nominated for Album of the Year. That blew me away.
Yeah.
Well, I think even more surprising was Song of the Year for Roar.
For Roar.
Yeah.
But no, really, Daniel, you've got to remember, a lot of people really love that song. Like, I have children, so I've heard it
when they roar.
Yeah, I know, but it should have won. It should have been record, not song.
We have the winner for Best Variety Special. It has gone to SNL.
Wow, I did not.
Well.
Chris, what happened?
It's really done well.
Wow, Mel Brooks lost that one. Tony Bennett, Lady Gaga lost. Bill Maher, live from DC, which I was at. I was at that special.
That special was okay, but I just don't think it was.
I liked his going from the place where he was doing the real-time show to the theater. That was a great thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. The SNL 40th was ahead in our predictions to win that, and it's actually, when I wrote an article about that category. They won that category for their 25th anniversary 15 years ago too, so it's not entirely out of left field.
Yeah.
That's another one.
I don't know
So-
what else was going to really. I was hoping for Tony Bennett. And Tony Bennett wins all the time. He couldn't win that. Was it
Tony
because
Bennett
of
won for Tony Bennett an American Classic. I think in
2007.
2007. And I think that year that special swept. It won like 6 or 7 or 8 Emmys that year. Yeah.
So Lady Gaga was the reason for why they snubbed him then. Perhaps.
Damn you, Gaga.
I know. After coming off such a great performance at the Oscars, she's going to be on AHS next season. She might be an Emmy nominee again next year.
So my fangirl was asking if any big names won for producing the special, and but not really. It's just Lauren
It's
Michaels.
just Lauren.
I just think it's really cool that you're able to say on a telecast or on a webcast, "My fangirl." I think it's really impressive. I want a fangirl, damn it. I'm so jealous.
Well,
anyway.
you do have
Give
one.
it a minute.
Rob,
The internet
you-
is listening.
Rob, you do have one. Unfortunately, it's me.
And I love it so much. You know what, mate? I'm your fangirl too.
And watch out for Amy Schumer. She's got a comedy special coming up on HBO this fall. We'll probably see her back in the variety special categories next year.
And the writing one, that could be a very big one for her because they love those. They love, as I said, as I did this year and last year, they did the stand-up specials. Riley, what the hell are you doing?
Putting on socks.
Okay.
He's just trying to get a list out of his fangirls. There's so many fangirls on this. Anyway.
Gotta leave soon.
Yeah, we've got to leave in 10 minutes. Yeah, so Riley and I are going to be leaving in 10 minutes, and you guys are going to wrap up. You're doing an amazing. You don't need us non-Americans anyway. So, what's
No,
next?
we don't.
You don't. Let's be honest, you so do.
I haven't seen anything from Chris about what the next round of categories is going to be because they've just been going all over the place.
So we have stunts and sound mixing.
I'm actually still thinking that they. I'm actually thinking that they might that they didn't know until they actually got to that until the ceremony what the order was going to be. That's why we didn't get That's why we didn't get an advanced list. They're just like picking stuff out of a hat.
Yeah. Wow. Okay. Okay. Well, we're just waiting now. We're just waiting. What do we have to look forward to? Awkward silence. Documentary non-fiction series is what I'm most looking forward to now. And structured reality, I think Shark Tank will probably win that again. But I know that Daniel really wants to see a Mythbusters or Antiques Roadshow. I didn't realize, Daniel, that you were. I didn't realize that you were in your 50s, Daniel. You look so good for your age.
I don't watch Antiques Roadshow regularly, but just the fact that it's been around for so long and it's never won because it's such an unsexy show. Watching the episode submissions, it's never going to win on that because it's just people talking about how much this thing from. Yeah, it's a great show, but it's not. It's never wins.
Such good contraception.
It is a fun show.
Yeah, I don't know.
I'm looking forward to documentary special. Going Clear. I'm really, really hoping that wins.
I still have to watch that. I'm way behind on that one.
Yeah, it's a really long film as well. It's about more than 2 hours long. I watched it 2 weeks ago, and my God, I couldn't believe it. It's like watching science fiction. I couldn't believe that it was all.
It is watching science fiction.
It is. I know, but I just couldn't believe it.
The interesting thing about the movie is that it could have gone longer, and I would have been fine with it.
Yeah, I was ready to just keep watching, and then it eventually ended.
You should read the book "Going Clear" by Lawrence Wright. It's a very, very good book.
Cool.
I did read that long Paul Haggis article that from a few years ago. I mean, I'm one of those too long didn't read people on the internet. If it goes longer than a page, I don't read it. But it's such a page turner and such a horror show. That article, it was amazing.
Yeah. Well, and then we've got informational series, and I get really confused with all the different reality categories. I know that they all have their own criteria, but informational series could be Vice again. I don't know the difference between them all, but there's 3 reality series categories, and that's too much.
I don't think they know the difference either, because Deadliest Catch used to be a nonfiction series, and now it's in reality.
Yeah.
I think one of the Anthony Bourdain shows used to be in nonfiction, and now it's an informational.
Yeah.
You know,
Get
they
your
go
act
back and forth.
right?
You know, and I think they always tinker around every year to see where they could best win.
Of
I
course.
kind of have this you know feeling that if MythBusters loses again this year, I kind of want to lobby them, say try informational, try another one, because you
You've
don't
got a
have to win
better
there.
shot.
They'll let you win somewhere else. They don't really seem to care where you compete.
I like what Daniel said in the forum too about there's documentary special and then there's exceptional merit in documentary filmmaking, and there's no difference between those.
No.
Because you
It's
look
just
at
another excuse.
their criteria, and it says like if they have innovative filmmaking or if they're socially important. But that's the same principles that you would award documentary special on. They both go to the producers.
So why do we have to have informational series, unstructured reality, and structured reality, and yet we have one comedy and one drama? I said it yesterday in our other Slugfest. Really, we need to maybe start, if they're going to split everything into minute category, like minute possibilities, and maybe comedy and drama need to be split because they're the most competitive.
Okay, we got another. Going Clear won Best Documentary Nonfiction Special.
Awesome. Congratulations. That
was proof that Scientology does not control everything in California.
Yeah.
And yet another for Sheila Nevins.
Yeah.
And also the book's original author wins as well, Lawrence Wright.
So good. I highly recommend it, everybody. Paul Haggis is fantastic in that as a talking head. That starts and finishes it really. It's a very good show.
David Miscavige is great as the villain.
Yeah, he's a great villain, as is Tom Cruise, who I love.
Is that one going to the Oscars? Did I read
it might be.
Yeah. So that's... Yeah. Did it have a theatrical release prior to it airing on HBO?
I believe so, yeah.
Yeah. And it doesn't matter that it won Emmys. It doesn't matter that it won an Emmy. Like, that doesn't matter to the Oscars, does it? It's all about where it was released, I think.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, there you go. It's going to be a good year for the Going Clear people, I think. All right. Well, we don't know what's coming up next. I'm hoping it's documentary series. The nominees there are American Masters, Cancer, The Emperor of All Maladies, The Jinx, The Roosevelts, and The 60s.
I mean, The Jinx you'd think would be a hands down.
You would hope. But
yeah.
It has so many nominations, too.
Yeah.
And it won.
Oh, it won.
Yeah. I'm checking. Go to the Twitter feed. Someone put down the Gold Derby Twitter feed is actually a good one to go to as well.
I'm going to have to check that when I leave. That will be my way to find out what the hell is winning. Oh, great. Congratulations to the Jinx. So well deserved. That's awesome. Yes. Cool. Love that show so much. I really highly recommend it, everybody. You might think it's a hard slog. It's only 6 episodes, and it's just masterful. Please watch it.
Also in that category is The Roosevelts in Intimate History, and that one was nominated over Olive Kitteridge at the Producers Guild.
Wow. Okay. Well, there you go. Right. So what else? Informational series or special. The nominees are Anthony Bourdain, Parts Unknown, Foo Fighters, Sonic Highways, Inside the Actors Studio, Star Talk, and Vice. Vice has won before. Foo Fighters would have a Gold Derby bump. So
yes, they would.
I actually think the last 2 years there were 2 winners. I think last year was Vice and Bourdain, and I think the year before was Bourdain and Inside the Actors Studio. Unless I'm thinking about another category.
And that's how Bill Maher finally got his Emmy.
Yep.
Yes, exactly.
It's it's always one of those weird things. It's like, I remember when Joss Whedon finally won an Emmy. It was for leaving television and going to the internet with Dr. Horrible. That was where he finally won his Emmy after never winning.
Good for him for winning on that one, because that was such a great one.
Yeah, it was.
Hey, did anybody get 2 for guest acting?
I don't know. That's whoever did.
I think I just got Cusack.
I got nothing. I got a big
nobody got Reggie Cathy or Margaret Martindale. So.
Yeah.
Some people probably got 2. I mean, Bradley Whitford wasn't out of the realm of possibilities, even considering the episode submissions. So that wasn't completely left field.
True. All right, guys, I'm going to go now. I'm going to bid you adieu, and thank you so much for letting me join you. It's been really fun, really interesting winners, and I'm sure I'll see you all next weekend for the big show, and in the meantime, Have fun.
Hi,
Take
Rob.
care. We love
Have
you.
Bye.
Have a good night,
Thank you.
or day, or morning, or whatever time it is.
Okay.
Okay, I will also leave now
Okay.
because it's just no fun without Rob.
Thank you very much.
We'll try not to take that personally while taking that personally.
Shout out to my fangirls.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Our traffic is gonna go way down because your fangirls are
We thank
leaving.
you. Please stay. All right. So
But it didn't
I'm
work.
trying to Emmy for best informational series goes to Anthony Bourdain, Parts Unknown.
Oh, okay.
Yep, just got that tweet 30 seconds ago.
That's his third win.
Yeah, Anthony Bourdain's been pretty popular here.
Yeah, but weirdly, only it was really all been in the last 5 years. Like I don't think he's been nominated, until he was nominated until like 2010, and then he's been nominated like 3 or 4 times a year.
Or maybe he just made the type of thing that they actually started paying attention to.
At this rate, watch him. Actually, that's the only thing that would surprise me as much as Margot Martindale if he wins for The Taste.
And exceptional merit in documentary filmmaking, no surprise, goes to Citizen 4.
Okay, that's I'm very happy about that one.
Yep. One of the ones that beat out though was Hot Girls Wanted, which would have meant an Emmy for Rashida Jones.
Mm-hmm. But hey, she's Emmy nominee Rashida Jones, which is one of the nice things about having so many Emmy categories.
Oh yeah.
I remember a year or two ago, John Krasinski. We were so mad that John Krasinski was never nominated for acting in The Office, and then he got like a special class nomination as a producer for like a farewell special for The Office, which was really, really nice. That Emmy nominee John Krasinski.
Yeah.
Now, if only Lauren Graham or something could do
there's
some kind of
there's a long line for that one.
It's just that's one of the ones that still bugs me. It's like you show up on television. It's so easy sometimes. Like people fall out of bed and get Emmy nominations. Like if Lauren Graham had a cup of coffee with Margot Martindale, she would have been nominated certainly.
Well, at least Margot would have been.
Yeah. If Lauren Graham plays Margot Martindale in some kind of biopic, maybe it'll rub off a little bit.
And we got one. It's Citizen 4. We got one. Sound categories are next. Sound mixing. Okay, here we go.
Sound mixing. Pick the music one. That's basically the shorthand on that one.
Yeah, so limited series or movie, you might want to go with Bessie on that one.
Oh yeah, that makes sense.
Yep.
So there were a few musical moments in American Horror Story.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, those weird covers of like David Bowie and Nirvana.
I loved Sarah Paulson duetting with herself on Criminal.
That was pretty good.
That was fantastic.
We have sound mixing for variety series or special. Goes to Saturday Night Live's 40th anniversary. That's the 4th win for the special.
Wow.
Yeah. As a 4th win, it beats out Late Show with David Letterman, the Oscars, the Grammy Awards, and The Voice. Grammy Awards usually win that one.
That's a lot of music-centered material there, too.
Yep. Apparently, Miley Cyrus covering 50 Ways to Leave Your Lover is better than Annie Lennox with Hozier.
Apparently. Or whatever Kanye West was doing.
Oh, Christ. And I say that as someone who loves Kanye West. I love Kanye West, but that's pushing it.
Yeah, I just didn't understand. What was weird about the Saturday Night Live special was having him on in the first place. Like, I mean, he's not been an integral part of the show for, and neither for that matter was Miley Cyrus. So to have them come on and give performances felt like sort of a little bit random.
Yeah, it did.
Especially when you have 40 years of history to cover and so many people who could have been showcased.
Doing those skits just seemed weird, like the Californians, which I've never particularly thought was that funny. I
think it was funny once or twice, but it's really just the one joke.
Yeah.
So there wasn't much to go back to except that it was an opportunity to have an ensemble sketch where you could bring on like 30, 40 different people.
Although I did like Bradley Cooper and Betty White in it. I thought they were really funny.
Yeah, there are a couple of them. There are a couple of them whose California accents were really going in some weird ethnic directions. I was like clearly they brought on the celeb and they weren't planning on who can actually do a California accent.
So, yeah. So some of the other sound mixing categories, I don't know which we'll go to next, but let's just say it's nonfiction programming. We have Anthony Bourdain, Parts Unknown for Jamaica, Deadliest Catch, Foo Fighters, Sonic Highway, Going Clear, Scientology, The Jinx, and Kurt Cobain, Montage of Heck. And
the winner is Foo Fighters, Sonic Highways.
Wow, good for them. If I remember correctly, Kurt Cobain, Steve Peterson, the sound mixer for that, is an Oscar winner. He won for the sound mixing to Schindler's List.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Yes, updating my records. Is that 2 for Foo Fighters?
That is 2 for Sonic Highway. Yep.
And so we've had variety and we had nonfiction. So then
I guess it'd be limited series or a movie.
So those are, I've got those. Those are American Crime for episode 11, American Horror Story Freak Show for Magical Thinking, Bessie, Houdini for night 1, and Texas Rising for night 4. And of course, we talked about that before. If we're thinking music wins, Bessie seems to be the likeliest bet there.
Yep. I would definitely say that. Yeah.
And for sound mixing for a comedy or drama series, 1 hour. We've got Better Call Saul for Marco, Downton Abbey for episode 9, Game of Thrones for Hard Home, Homeland for Redux, and House of Cards for Chapter 27.
Hard Home, I think, has to be the front runner for that one because of the battle, the logic of the lab. And yeah, it just won.
Is that 5 or 6? For
that is 6.
That's that's the magic number. We're predicting in our prediction center that it will win 3 in the telecast. So if that is true, which you never know,
it will tie the record.
It will tie the record with Mad Men or with The West Wing. And we still got like visual effects to go, or is there any more for Game of Thrones? It could.
There might be. I don't know. I'm still trying to piece everything together here. But yeah, no, I think we have visual effects and possibly stunt coordination.
Is it up for stunts? Because that would be
stunt coordination for a comedy, stunt coordination for a drama. Yes, it is up.
So that's another possibility.
I mean, these are categories that it is not out of the realm to think it would win.
So also, we could see as many as 8.
Is it nominated twice in visual effects? Because there's outstanding visual effects, and then there's because there's also visual effects in a supporting role. It is not.
There's no overlap between those this year. I don't know if you're allowed to like submit one episode in one category, another in another category, but I don't know. I don't know if I've ever seen an overlap between those categories in the
yeah. Okay, so we went over the movie ones. The half-hour sound mixing nominees are Modern Family, Parks and Recreation, Silicon Valley, The Simpsons, and Veep.
So at this rate, I would think Silicon Valley or Veep maybe.
I don't know. The Simpsons. That's the episode it's nominated for is the crossover with Futurama, and that has a lot of explosions and stuff in there. So that might, if I remember the episode correctly. So that's something to keep an eye out for.
It's worth noting in that category, the Emmys really never warmed to Parks and Recreation, but damned if the sound mixers don't love the hell out of that show. It's been nominated for sound mixing just about every year.
Oh man, it just
go figure.
Yeah.
Amy Poehler should get in the sound room. Get her an Emmy. Just sneak in there.
At least someone's noticing it.
Yeah. I mean, that show's shortfalls over the years in general was one of the biggest weirdest
And
blind spots.
it has gone to Modern Family.
Oh, I should have guessed that might have been a possibility because that was the connection lost. Yeah.
Which I still have to watch, actually. And, it's on the board, so that's something.
Yeah, they didn't shut it out. I mean, after, Mad Men won its last drama series Emmy, it lost everything across the board from there on out.
And it still hasn't won anything tonight. I don't think it's even up for anything more tonight.
Yeah, it wasn't up for that much during Creative Arts. It was up for maybe 4 or 5 or something like that.
What is it? It was, Modern Family. This is not as nicely done as Matt's board that he usually has every year. But Matt is actually at the ceremony, so you know what? Good for him. And again, Bessie just seems to be should be the obvious pick here.
Or American Horror Story, which has 3 wins, I think, so far tonight. So that wouldn't be out of the realm of possibility. Or
Texas Rising. I mean, doesn't that have like gunfights in it, I guess?
It probably does.
Okay. I mean, it's about Texas and it's on the History Channel, so there's probably gunfights in there somewhere.
Yeah. If you said it in Texas today, there's probably gunfighting in there somewhere.
I'm staying off of that one. You know me, I'm always the more PC of the group. Oh man. Yeah, so I mean, I just want to show you guys. Here's my list so far of everything that's won. So this is a legal pad. So yeah, they have spread the wealth tonight, as they do every year. They do that every year.
Yeah, there's rarely a situation where we have just something running the board completely. I mean, Game of Thrones has won a lot tonight, but even it hasn't won. It was nominated 13 categories at Creative Arts. And it's not doing 13 for 13, certainly.
And Bessie just won.
All right, then. That's 4 or 5 for Bessie.
4. That is the 4th win for Bessie. And Marcus is telling us visual effects is next.
Okay, so let's go there. Find that in my notes.
For special visual effects, the nominees are Black Sails, The Flash, Game of Thrones, Marvel's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., and Vikings. Do you remember what won this last year?
I'm pretty sure Game of Thrones has won the last 2. And they're nominated for the Dance of Dragons episodes, which is the one where, there's a fight in the stadium and dragons come in and save Khaleesi.
Yep.
That's a reasonable bet. Though I wouldn't completely rule out. Actually, no, I can't say anything else here. I would think could beat it.
I don't know. I think Black Sails or Vikings. Sometimes they just like them, so they just like it for that reason, and they'll just go and it'll just pop up as the winner sometimes.
But I think when Black Sails won last year, I think it was in supporting visual effects, so it didn't have to go up against CGI dragons.
Can it go from supporting to lead? Can it do the Allison Janney?
We will see. I don't. It's tough to go against Game of Thrones for visual effects.
Yeah, especially this one that is so centered on that, where the centerpiece is the CGI.
And then the nominees for supporting visual effects, which I really do like this category. It's American Horror Story Freak Show for the episode Edward Mordrake Part 2, Boardwalk Empire for Golden Days for Boys and Girls, Gotham for Lovecraft, Daredevil for Speak of the Devil, and The Walking Dead for Conquer. And that's a tough one. I don't actually know where to go. Well, no, I'll go with Boardwalk Empire, American Horror Story, but Boardwalk, I think Boardwalk.
Yeah, I would say Boardwalk Empire. I mean, that's actually it shocked us a couple times when it's won that, and we've gone, wait, what? But then you have to remember they're trying to recreate the boardwalk of Atlantic City from the 1920s. And
but what's amazing is that the reason it was so shocking, the first time it won this category was in the main visual effects category. It was going up against like heavy CGI kinds of stuff.
Yeah.
And then it won supporting, I think, a year or two later. So it's kind of hard to bet against it.
Did they have the supporting category back then?
Not the year it won, the first time.
That might be one of those, cause and effect type things.
Yeah, it's like, oh, really?
Another one for Game of Thrones. It's at 7.
Not a surprise there. Visual effects for Game of Thrones.
Wow. This is, as Kent Brockman once said on The Simpsons, a chilling vision of things to come.
Yeah, and so it still has a stunt coordination up. I don't know
If
it
it
has.
wins the stunt coordination category, I mean, come on, it's breaking the record.
It's got to at least high. I can't imagine it being shut out at that on next Sunday.
Because I only have it winning in the predictions I have right now. I only have it winning series and directing. I don't think it's going to win supporting actress, which I know a lot of people. One person said watch out for Emilia Clarke because she's going to win. I don't see it happening, but I mean.
But Margot Martindale.
She's the new Butt.
Yeah.
It used to be Butt Barry Pepper, Butt
Merritt Weaver.
Margaret, Butt Merritt Weaver.
Yeah, so that's the sort of thing. It's like and the thing is, Margot Martindale's episode was just nothing there. I mean, anyone nominated, anyone who could possibly surprise next week has a better episode than Margot Martindale.
Yeah.
Even Emilia Clarke. Basically anyone.
I'm actually going to see if because they're not just going to show the condensed version on FXX next week. They're also going to throw the whole thing up online and stream it next week. So I actually want to find Margot Martindale's speech and time it and see if Chris's statement is actually true, that her speech is longer than the performance.
Well, I think I clocked it when I watched it. I wrote the episode analysis for that one. And when someone had limited screen time, I made sure to I stopped watching that thing, and I think it was within 2.5 minutes.
And she's not speaking for a lot of it.
No, yeah, she's only speaking for half of it because obviously she's speaking opposite Frank Langella, so she's really speaking it on camera for maybe a minute and a half.
Wow. Yeah. Someone actually just said. In the conversation, this was a while ago, that she was that this is the type of thing that they're going to write. This is going to spark articles for year to come, like the Ellen Burstyn nomination did. Although, to be fair, it gave one of the best jokes that Conan had during that ceremony, and he had a ton of them because he was great. But he said it was there's a lot of people outraged because she was nominated for a performance that only lasted 15 seconds. Trust me, just because something is only 15 seconds long does not mean it can be mind-blowing and amazing.
I remember that one.
And it goes to Freak Show.
That's not too surprising. That seems like the most effects-heavy one in there.
Yep. So that's the 4th win for them tonight.
Now, FNL, let me see who's the... someone, FNL fan 89s in our chat room says Game of Thrones now has 21 Emmys to date, and no show has ever won that many without winning drama series at least once.
Oh, that's a good fact.
And it's actually, that puts it, I mean, we were expecting Game of Thrones to last 2 or 3 more seasons. I think the most awarded drama is, I think, The West Wing and Hill Street Blues with 26. Mm-hmm. It's beating that easy. Even if it only was Creative Arts from here on out.
Yeah, I mean, Creative Arts, but it might actually. That's the crazy thing, it might win drama series and then go the way of, who knows? It might even go it'll probably still get nominated, but go the way of The West Wing or Mad Men and never win anything again.
Well, I mean, Mad Men is not such a technically rigorous kind of show.
There we go. Stunts, drama, Game of Thrones.
That's 8.
That is 8. It is that is the amount that Boardwalk Empire won at the Creative Arts. Wait, no, it won 7 at the Creative Arts, right?
It won 7 and then won an 8th Best Directing at the main telecast.
For Scorsese.
And Game of Thrones and Boardwalk Empire, even though we were wondering, could it win after that sweep? We were wondering, it was never really considered the front runner, I don't think.
And it was only considered the favorite for the directing one because it was Scorsese.
Exactly, yeah, and it didn't win again in the main show except for Bobby Cannavale, which was another out of nowhere kind of win.
Yeah.
But Game of Thrones, I mean, directing seems like a solid bet. I mean, you know, I can see it losing drama series. I would not be surprised at all if it loses supporting actress. I have to say it's got to win one. I mean, I don't think it's not going to win one.
It really has to. It really has to at this point. You know, to not do it would just be, you know, it'd be a travesty.
And drama series is such, you know, it has so much more support than everything else. And you could say, you know, it's just, because of all the technical awards, because it's a technical show. It has more acting nominations than Mad Men. It has a directing nomination that Mad Men, House of Cards, Downton Abbey, all those shows didn't get. It has 2 in that category. It got in for editing. It won for casting in its 5th season. I mean, the writing is on the wall for it. That's never a guarantee at the Emmys, but everything we could possibly look to for its strength relative to other shows, it really, everything indicates a Game of Thrones win for best drama.
Yeah, it really does. It really does. And I think it's just, especially the experts on our website, the people who are listed as the experts, should take heed of that and check their predictions, because it cannot be more clear right now. It cannot be more clear how this is playing out.
Yeah, and it just seems like in some of these categories where these sort of canary in the coal mine kind of things, person to person, the Mad Men finale, not getting in for directing, over a second episode of Game of Thrones, and an unpopular or controversial second episode of Game of Thrones.
Mm-hmm.
That's telling. I mean, I feel like, I made this comparison in another slugfest that we're wondering if Mad Men is going to win like in its last season, like The Sopranos and Breaking Bad did. But I feel like a more apt comparison is probably 30 Rock, where it comes back after winning and then losing, and then comes back and wins a couple. But
it doesn't have the overdue factor. Yeah. That's why I don't take any of that seriously.
They don't owe it anything. They don't feel like they owe it anything. Maybe John Hamm certainly, but not
they owe certain people something, but not. And that's why even it was surprising in that last season of The Sopranos, even when they submitted well, Edie Falco and James Gandolfini didn't win anything. Nor Lorraine Bracco. She should have won the supporting actress prize that year.
Yeah, she had that was a great episode she submitted that year.
Yeah, when she tells Tony, and she just basically throws him out of her office. We also have a winner for stunts in a comedy or variety. Goes to Brooklyn Nine-Nine. Good on them for getting Brooklyn Nine-Nine something.
Yeah, it's one of those things where, in a certain place, it's nice to be able to call something an Emmy winner no matter where it is. And Stunt Coordination did that for Southland. It won that twice.
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember if Community won stunts ever. It did win one for animation. It did win one special one for animation.
Did Dan Harmon get that one?
I don't think he did. I think that was one of the jury awards.
Was that for the 8-bit episode, or was that for the Christmas special?
I think that was the Claymation Christmas special.
I love that episode. And we just had 2 wins for Going Clear. Alex Gibney wins as a director and a writer.
And so that's 2 more wins for Going Clear. Is that 3 or 4?
That's 3 altogether so far. Big wins. It wins over Citizen 4 in that one.
Yeah.
And the Interactive Award is next with our collective crush, Chris Hardwick.
Yes. And nominated twice. Very excited about that.
Already an Emmy winner for the Juried Award. Good on them. Congratulations to them for that, because that is such a genius interactive idea of combining, traditional media and social media.
It absolutely is, and it's sort of, it feels like, whose line is it anyway for the information age in a very kind of, and it's so interesting for comedy too. Like I didn't have as great an appreciation for comedy and comedians and the art behind it until I started watching this show, because I mean even just puns, like I play those hashtag wars and I am crafting these for like 10-15 minutes, like wait what's the best pun, and they're just like rattling things off.
They go right at it, yeah.
They have to edit stuff out of each episode.
Well, that's why I loved, because I watch it. I download it and watch it, and that's why I love always look forward to the Thursday episodes, because they do it uncut. They do it uncut, or mostly uncut. They probably still do some cutting. And they also have actors on there who you wouldn't normally think of as comedians. But one of my favorites ever was Stephen Tobolowsky, great character actor. He was hilarious on that show.
Yeah, I always admire the non-comedians, the people who you wouldn't expect who go on there and actually hold their own. Like I remember Amber Tamblyn did one, and it's like I would not have thought of Amber Tamblyn as an at midnight kind of person.
Yeah,
but
Jillian Jacobs from Community, she was really funny. Danny Pudi from Community was pretty funny on there too.
I think that might have been the one episode I missed, which was so shameful of me. Like I missed their Community special. I never went back and got around to seeing it. I'm sure I could find it online somewhere.
Oh yeah, it's wonderful, and also exposing us to Ron Funches.
Oh, absolutely.
The genius of Ron Funches. He is
he is weird. He's the only comedian I can think of whose appeal perfectly matches his name.
Yes.
It's so the name sounds cuddly and friendly and funny. And
you just know he's also a big hit with the bear community. They adore him.
Like whenever I think of him, I always sort of think of him as bunches of funches.
Whenever I see him, I always think he's someone. Whenever I go to Bear Happy Hour here, which big surprise, I go to that. Whenever I go to Bear Happy Hour at one of the bars here in DC, I always whenever I turn the corner, I expect to see him. Let's see, we got 2 new tweets on interactive program goes to last week tonight.
Not a big surprise, but I'm actually very, very happy with that one.
And that could bode well for John Oliver next week. He has 2 opportunities to win there.
Up next is reality, according to Marcus, structured and unstructured.
All right. Our structured reality nominees are Antiques Roadshow, Diners, Drive-Ins, and Dives, Mythbusters, Property Brothers, Shark Tank, and Undercover Boss. My guess would be Shark Tank.
Yeah, my guess would be Shark Tank. My hope is, as I've mentioned, is Mythbusters or Antiques Roadshow.
I am just praying it's not Diners, Drive-Ins, and Dives.
God help us.
Because I love that show, but God help us if Guy Fieri wins an Emmy.
An Emmy winner guy. Like I talked about Lauren Graham.
Sean Hamm and Steve Carell.
Yeah, and Lauren Graham and so many others. I'm like, oh my goodness.
Yeah. God help us.
Luckily for us, Margot Martindale does not host Diners, Drive-Ins, and Dives.
I would be okay with it winning if she did.
Yeah, I agree with you on that one. Margot Martindale and Katy Perry hosting Diners, Drive-Ins, and Dives.
Pushing it now.
Emmys. I want that. That's an Emmy-winning combo for me.
Oh man, yeah. I would love to see Mythbusters win. I've always thought that show is really cool and just different. And just fun. It's fun.
Yeah, and smart. It's such a different kind of show.
Oh my God! Someone told me Riley Chow fangirl says that Guy Fieri already won an Emmy. Jeez. Oh God. I have to rethink my whole existence now.
Did he? Maybe he won a daytime Emmy at some point.
I still have to reconsider my existence. Oh God, I feel dirty all of a sudden. I need a shower.
I have like people who are watching this. I have like I have a command center basically open. I have another 3-screen experience here, so I'm looking him up on IMDb. He doesn't list any other nominations other than the primetime Emmy bids for Diners, Drive-Ins, and Dives.
And they usually put daytime Emmy stuff in there too.
Yeah, I mean they're not perfect. IMDb isn't perfectly comprehensive, but they usually have the big ones at least. So I'm not going to believe that until I receive independent confirmation of it.
Oh man, Chris is interviewing the Alex Gibney next week and wants to know if it's going to be eligible for the Oscars. Going clear. And I believe it is. Yes, it will be.
Yeah, I believe it had that limited qualifying run. I think I wrote an article about that actually.
So did the Kurt Cobain documentary.
Yeah, that's right. Because I remember, I always know because I always see them on Metacritic under the movie section before I see them under TV. So I'm like, oh, okay, that's the. So I remembered having some kind of limited release. So I'm 90% sure Going Clear will be in the Oscar mix, or could be potentially.
Let's see. I might. Yeah, I might have to see about that. I was so fascinated by that documentary. I thought it was amazing, and the book is so fascinating too. And it's one of those things, as I said, it's 2.5 hours. But if it had been 3 hours, hell, even 3.5, I would have been fine with that because there's so much you can go into.
Yeah, it's one of those. I'm like that with a lot of nonfiction, documentaries and stuff like that. A lot of fiction films there are finite. Like there's, all right, you're done. We're good. But the nonfiction, there's sometimes so much in a lot of these documentaries that I'm like, I don't want that to be a movie. I want that to be the Jinx. I want it to be a 6-part miniseries. I want it to be a 10-part miniseries. These things, some of these things just really need to go on and on. Oh, Unstructured Reality, we do have a winner there. It is Deadliest Catch.
That beats out. That's, I believe, 3 for Deadliest Catch now. That beats out Alaska: The Last Frontier, Intervention, $1 Million Listing, Naked and Afraid, which is also my one-man show that I do in my bedroom here, and Wahlburgers.
Yeah, it's weird. When they split it between structured and unstructured, it really just, it was the ticket for Deadliest Catch to win as much as possible because it was really the only unstructured show that got into the combined reality category, which makes me think, did we really need the separate race? Because it wasn't dominating that category and nothing else was dominating that category. So
I still like it because it separates the different ideas of how the approach to reality television and what qualifies as it. So
that's true. I feel like I like that distinction. The problem for me there is that unstructured reality suddenly becomes interchangeable with information series and documentary nonfiction series. So I feel like we need the reality show for this, just for structured reality, and then get rid of unstructured and put those shows in informational or nonfiction series.
We do have that Guy Fieri won a special class daytime Emmy. I believe it was for something called Guy's Family Reunion.
Okay, so the apocalypse is nigh?
I think it has been for a while, but that just cements it.
Guy Fieri winning an Emmy and Donald Trump leading the presidential polls. That's where we are.
Donald Trump is almost an Emmy winner.
Even Donald Trump, they didn't give Donald Trump an Emmy.
Well, my favorite thing was when Donald Trump sued Bill Maher, and the image because Bill Maher said, if you can prove that you're not the offspring of an orangutan, I will donate $10 million to charity. And Donald Trump actually sued Bill Maher, leading Bill Maher to one of his best bits ever about, here's what a joke is. The image all the news outlets used was an image of Trump and Maher on the red carpet for one of the Emmys. And they were like chatting, being all chummy with each other. And Shark Tank wins again.
Okay.
At least it was an undercover boss.
Yeah, but it's still like I appreciate the spirit of the idea of it. Yay, entrepreneurs! But it still feels like rich people saying "dance, monkey, dance" to a bunch of up and comers, and I'm uncomfortable watching it.
All right, and next we have our final category of the evening: reality host.
I really want Kat Deely to win this.
She would be a welcome addition to this, and we've seen some out of nowhere things. Even when you look at the tapes,
Yeah.
Remember when Tom Bergeron had that amazing episode where where they did Dancing with the Stars? I think it was the night after the Boston bombing. And he talked about being from Boston. It was amazing. And he lost to Heidi Klum and Tim Gunn.
Yeah, and the year before was one of the few years I actually reviewed those submissions. That was when Tom Bergeron won. I didn't give him a prayer to win that one because I actually thought Kat Deely was going to win that time because she's so endearing on the show, and of course it should help that the show airs during the summer, so it airs during the voting period, so it should be right on their radar. But she just she hasn't won yet. Oh, that's right. We haven't gotten variety sketch series, have we? Someone in the chat room is
no variety sketch series. Wait. Oh, you're right. We haven't gotten that. That has to be. Yeah. Triple H says, I stayed up for variety sketch. I thought this was moved to the Creative Emmys.
So did we.
Yeah, we that's what we heard. We heard this as long as yesterday and everything. Yeah, so we might need some clarification on that.
So to review the nominees for variety or for reality host, we have Tom Bergeron again for Dancing with the Stars, Anthony Bourdain for The Taste, Kat Deely for So You Think You Can Dance, Heidi Klum and Tim Gunn for Project Runway, Jane Lynch for Hollywood Game Night. Of those, Kat Deely is the only one who has never won an Emmy in any category. She has been nominated 5 times, which ties her as the 4th most nominated host in this category. Tom Bergeron has been nominated 8 times.
Would she win? Is she listed as a producer of So You Think You Can Dance as well?
I don't think so. I'd have to check, but I don't think she is.
Because if she is, she would have another opportunity next week to win.
True, but I mean, the way. Oh no.
Jane Lynch.
Okay.
I
mean, I was predicting it, but.
And she's good at what she does. It's not like she's an undeserving winner.
It's true, but I feel like it's one of those things where you're giving someone an Emmy for just sort of hanging out with their friends.
Sometimes that's the most entertaining thing you can watch.
So that is Jane Lynch's 2nd Emmy for reality host. She is the first reality host to repeat in that category, actually, since Jeff Probst won 4 for 4. Yep. So who knows? We might see another Jane Lynch sweep. What's interesting is that with this win, only once has this award gone to a host of a nominated reality show. When Tom Bergeron won for Dancing with the Stars, that was and Heidi Klum and Tim Gunn. So only twice. The other times it was Jeff Probst, for Survivor. I don't think Survivor was ever nominated the years he won for Best Reality Series, and Hollywood Game Night's never been nominated.
Does Hollywood Game Night submit in that category, or are they not eligible for that?
I would assume if they're eligible for reality host, I would assume they're eligible for reality competition.
Yeah, so we are trying to find out. Riley Chow fangirl, yes. Amy, no.
No, Amy Schumer did not lose writing tonight. She is not variety series writing is going to be next week. So it turns out most of actually all of Schumer's categories are next week because variety series directing. If variety sketch series turns out to be next week, and best comedy actress, so everything will be for next week for her.
Yeah, we are in the middle of determining this. Did we possibly miss it when
Well, I've got a press release coming in with the official list of winners. So let me see. I'm going to do a quick page search on that and see if it's listed.
We don't have it on the homepage. On our homepage, the list of the variety sketch series. And
variety sketch series is not presented tonight. It's not listed on their official list of awards. So
really?
For winners. So yeah, it looks like variety sketch is going to be next week.
We apologize to those who stayed up specifically for that one. We apologize for that.
No, we don't. We apologize on behalf of the Television Academy, the horrible, horrible Television Academy, who led us astray.
And rewarded Margot Martindale. Remember who to be really mad at.
Yes. And do not take it out on Margot. Margot is a wonderful, wonderful actress.
She's a sweetie pie.
Yeah, and she is absolutely a lovely human being, and she deserves to have 2 Emmys. The second one should have been for maybe something else.
Yeah. Can you check 2 categories that I don't have right now? Hairstyling for a limited series or movie. For some reason, I don't have a winner for that.
That was Freak Show.
That was Freak Show. Okay, so actually that might be 5. That might be 4 total for Freak Show. Or I don't know. I might have missed that one.
I'm taking in the press release. It might have a rundown of the number of wins for each program. Oh yeah, it does. Game of Thrones, as we have mentioned, it led with 8 wins. American Horror Story Freak Show does indeed have 5. Bessie had 4, as did the Saturday Night Live 40th anniversary special. with 3 wins were Deadliest Catch, Going Clear, and Transparent. Adventure Time won 2. Boardwalk Empire won 2. Foo Fighters Sonic Highways won 2. House of Cards, The Jinx, Olive Kitteridge, Over the Garden Wall, Saturday Night Live, Silicon Valley, the Super Bowl halftime show, and Tome of the Unknown. All of those also won 2.
Yeah. The Super Bowl halftime show, some of those were juried awards as well.
I figured, because there were like a couple for like Adventure Time. Only one was actually announced now, and that was that other one was earlier.
Triple H says, "I accept your apology on behalf of the Academy." As usual, your videos do not disappoint, and we live to entertain. Could you check single camera picture editing? Because we know that went to Silicon Valley, but which episode did it go for?
Picture editing. Writing, nonfiction. 2 Days of the Condor.
Good, okay, good. That was their season finale. And that one is up for, I believe that is up for writing next week.
Honestly, those writing and directing categories at the Emmys,
even the comedy ones, those are hard.
We think we know, but we don't. I mean, they go like the year I think Dexter won directing, I think for The Getaway, or Boardwalk Empire winning, the second or third year.
Or ER when it won. ER
for the
finale. Yeah, that came out of
nowhere. We never saw that coming. So we don't necessarily know, and those categories aren't necessarily indicative in terms of the winners of what will happen with drama and comedy, because there have been plenty of examples over the years of a show losing both writing and directing and still winning series. So I don't think
yeah, it doesn't really mean that much. If it's not, it means more if it's not nominated than if it doesn't win.
Exactly. Yeah, not nominated. The last time a show won an Emmy, a drama series won an Emmy without a writing or directing nomination was The Practice. That was the second Practice win. That was either 98 or 99. And then Friends on the comedy side, that was in 2002.
Yeah, that was 1999. Its first one was 98.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So it's been a long time. You need to at least be nominated in one of those categories. One or the other, or both helps. It doesn't hurt.
It's just, and especially the comedy one, I really have no idea what to make heads or tails of that. We'll probably do a separate slugfest on the writing and directing nominations for comedy and drama. But it's really tough. If we could just touch on this for a little bit.
Oh, absolutely.
And to those who are staying with us for our coverage, we thank you. We can project officially that Game of Thrones has won North Carolina and Virginia. House of Cards in Indiana is still too close to call. Sorry. The writing for, what do you think is winning writing for a comedy series?
I am taking a gamble on that one. I'm giving that one to Louis again. He's won that episode. He's won twice. Mm-hmm. He's lost twice. The 2 times he lost were understandable. He lost for the first year before Louis really blew up.
But got a lot of surprise nominations, like the writing and the lead actor nomination.
And that show was really under the radar in its first season. The second season, it took off. It submitted a weird episode. I don't think it submitted nearly its best episode. It submitted the episode Pregnant, and it won. I don't think I was expecting it to win that year. The next year, it lost, but it lost to the 30 Rock finale. We could understand how that happened, because Tina Fey co-wrote that finale. And then it won again last year for So Did the Fat Lady. Which was a great episode. I think that was actually his best.
That was a wonderful episode.
And this year I'm not sure if I'd say Bobby's House is my favorite episode of the season, but rewatching it again for Louis C.K.'s performance and Pamela Adlon's performance, I can see it's certainly more substantial than Pregnant was. And we saw tonight he just won a 6th Emmy for writing. The writers branch loves him unconditionally. So I'm just going with him for now. I can see Veep winning. I can see Last Man on Earth winning. I can see Silicon Valley winning. I can see Transparent winning. It could go to anything in there.
Yeah, it's really, really tough. They do like their pilots in this, although I think they like them more in the directing category.
Yeah. Especially the single camera ones like Desperate Housewives and Ugly Betty and Pushing Daisies. Yeah, not Orange is the New Black, alas. Although it wasn't nominated for its pilot, it was nominated for Lesbian Request.
Yeah, and everyone thought that was going to win, or a lot of people were thinking that was going to win because Jodie Foster. And I don't know what train you were on, but I kept on saying I think Gail Mancuso is going to win another Emmy this year.
I thought it was going to be Orange is the New Black. I thought it was going to go into that, single camera dramedy kind of mold that usually wins that. And that losing last year is what makes me think Transparent isn't that strong for directing necessarily. I think Transparent's actually probably stronger for writing.
Yeah.
I'm actually going with Last Man on Earth for directing because it's the most, of those episodes and of those shows, it feels the most director driven, especially that pilot.
Yeah. The Silicon Valley episode isn't really. It is a season premiere, but I don't think it was really. The direction really isn't the thing that left me. Whereas the writing for the finale, which is nominated for 2 Days of the Condor, I thought that really stood out. I don't know the testimony episode of Veep though, and the directing for a comedy. I think that's a really interesting one because that's the episode where it's made up of all of them testifying on Capitol Hill about certain stuff about which I can't remember or contemplate for the life of me right now. But it's really interesting how it's shot and edited, and I think that could transfer over to a win for them in the directing category because it's almost like it looks like a documentary that's compiled footage from C-SPAN.
Yeah, that's a definite possibility. I mean, I don't rule anything out of those writing and directing categories for comedy. I mean, there's nothing in there that would come out of left field for me in either of those categories.
Yeah, everything just feels like it's just all up in the air. And I would love to see Last Man on Earth win because it would be so wonderful to see Lord and Miller win an Emmy for this wonderful thing they did, especially after the Unnameable Sin, which we do not speak of, which happened several months ago. Yeah.
And interesting to note, actually, we're talking about whether Game of Thrones will break the record, American Horror Story, Freak Show, could do well. It's the frontrunner to win supporting actress for Sarah Paulson. It's certainly not out of the realm of possibility for lead actress and supporting actor.
Yeah.
It could surprise us for limited series. I mean, those long form categories the last 2 years alone have just been insane.
Oh God, yeah. I mean, just going back to The Hour when that one writing. I
loved.
I know. You were jumping up, and we all know you were jumping up and down for that one. But we were like, we weren't expecting I don't think any of us were maybe expecting Behind the Candelabra to win that one, because we knew that it was really vulnerable to lose in that. But that one was such a huge shocker, And then, the Ellen Burstyn one, Chris, of course, always likes to say that he picked that one, and he did. So, good on him for that, I guess.
And Laura Linney over Jessica Lange and Elizabeth Moss. I think Chris also called that one, or he did early on and then changed. I can't remember if he stuck with that. Yeah,
and oh God, what was the other? Who's the? Oh God, I'm trying to think of last year.
Cumberbatch.
Not Cumberbatch. All of it last year. All of it. That's what threw me off of my prediction. Cumberbatch and Freeman. And then you also had the craziness of
Jessica Lange and Kathy Bates.
Kathy Bates winning over Julia Roberts and Alison Tolman, and and Jessica Lange winning over Cicely Tyson. I mean, it's absolute madness to try to predict some of these.
Well, we will have those predictions open for everyone watching this again, and we will include variety sketch series because that's still clearly up in the air. So we will, with that, bid you farewell. We hope you have all enjoyed our presence. We hope Riley's fangirl wasn't too disappointed to gaze upon our hideous faces.
And Rob does have a fangirl or boy in there. He has Philip, who we thank you for giving Rob a pity attraction. So that's very nice.
Yes, we expect we will be back, over over the course of the next week doing potentially Slugfest. We'll probably do a pre-show on Emmy Day and a post-show. We will be back here then, and if I'm in attendance, I do hope I have accumulated 1 or 2 fangirls or fanboys or anything in betweens. Really, I'll take any of the multiple genders, because we do believe in plurality here. At least I do, not that horrible transphobic Rob.
Tell us about it.
That vicious homophobe. So we will see you back here at some point soon. And thank you for joining us and tolerating us, and Margot Martindale. We'll just leave you with that and say good night.